So I put on Instagram yesterday, or maybe it was last night, that I had a question from somebody. Asked about the springs. He just took apart his head and he was putting it back together. It's still kind of hard to tell even here. But you see the springs in the back? It seem like they're a wee bit taller. Well, anyway, like I said, it's hard to see here, plus my table's uneven, but they are. So a lot of times, guys, if I don't give you a straight answer, it's not to be like insulting or to say you're dumb or you don't have common sense, but it's to try to encourage you to think on your own, like, think outside the box, or not even really so much outside the box. But there's a lot of things that I don't know that I hadn't officially learned or been told by somebody. But then when I come across them, I'm like, oh, well, that's the reason why. It's just one of the things to think about. So I told the guy when he asked me, like, which sides are which side, because my springs are slightly bigger. He goes, which side? I was like, they're all the same size. All the springs are the same size, right? But like I just told you, you see that the ones in the back are slightly taller than the ones in the front. Well, they're springs. And if they all start off the same size, what could be the cause? Why would those be shorter and or taller? Spring load, different spring load, right? So intake on half and exhaust on the half, right? And then you got to see which cam side has more lift. The one that has more lift means the springs are getting compressed further down. So the side with more lift is the side that the shorter ones go on because they've been compressed longer and more frequently. They're the exact same life rate, and it's not a huge difference. It's a little bit difference, but there you go. That's how you figure that out. And it's those things that I say is kind of like a common sense type deal. Like you just got to try and figure out, like why, what's the reason behind something. Sometimes if you just think a little bit, you can come up with it. I try not to ask questions because I don't want to be a bothersome person, because there's not very many people that I can ask if I run out of answers. Not to say that I'm all knowing or whatnot, but a lot of the times if I can't figure something out, it's a little bit more of an advanced question that is not so readily able to find. I have to ask somebody who has more knowledge than me, which tends to be somebody that's usually very busy. So a lot of times the questions I get, the answers are readily available. So you just gotta go out and look for them, and you can find them most of the time. It gives you, if you find the shit on your own, it makes it makes it more likely that you're going to be able to find shit on your own later on, and you'll more easily retain the information instead of just knowing that you can go back to somebody and ask. I try to talk to everybody, and this is something I haven't harped on in a while, is that if you want to talk to me, I'm more willing to have just like a regular friendly conversation than I am a tech talk conversation. And that's just because of the fact that 99% of the questions I get, I've already covered on the channel a lot. Yeah, and even if you're somebody who's been a long-term subscriber, it doesn't necessarily mean just because you're a long-term subscriber that I'm just going to drop everything to talk to you and answer questions, because I know that a lot of you guys that subscribed a long time ago don't currently watch, because, I only get 200 and some views, 300 views as average on my channel for uploads, and I've got 9,000 subscribers. So I would say a fairly good amount of you aren't watching. Most of you guys have clicked subscribed and then gone away. And most of the traffic I get is from people who just randomly come across it in their suggestions. Anyway, that's it. Just a little note there, a little conversation there. This head's gonna be done. The head I was working on 2 heads yesterday. It was this one and another one. The other head I was working on is all cleaned up and ready to go back together, but it needs to be resurfaced. It's pretty far off. This one is minty, and the valves were already polished, so yay for me. So all I'm going to do is right now I'm going to lap those valves and put them back together, and then I'll have a complete ready to go VTEC killer head that I'm going to list it for sale. But if it doesn't sell, I'm going to use it for myself. Still got those 2 rock arm assemblies, so I think I have one more head that I can check in the back. I'm going to check for and measure today, see if it's healthy. If it's healthy, then I'm going to do that one too today. So I'll have 2 VTEC killer heads, hopefully. If not, I plan on going to my shop at some point in time today, and I have a couple more heads there I can bring too. So I have time off. I got to work Monday, but I'm only working Monday. So I think today's Saturday. So I have today and tomorrow to do shit, and then work Monday, and then I'll be off again for another week. So I'm trying to get shit done still. So yeah. Anyway, guys, hopefully I get some more content out too, because most of my shit has been stuff like this, and yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get down and have some FaceTime with the camera and talk to you guys, see if I can come up with some shit. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and peace.